Lego Star Wars is one of the most popular Lego themes on the planet, and that is true both for Lego collectors and fans, but also for Lego investors, people like me who buy Lego sets before values go up. But here's the thing, inside of most Lego themes, there are sub-themes. There are product lines inside of the theme that are similar to each other, and for example, we have the Lego Star Wars helmets, or we have the Lego Star Wars diorama sets. And there is another sub-theme in the world of Lego Star Wars that is an absolutely incredible sub-theme when it comes to investing, because the sets in this sub-theme tend to go up in value like crazy. I've done really well with some of these sets as an investment, and I want to walk you through this sub-theme right now. You don't need to do any of the research. I've got it all here for you. I'm going to show you the top 15 sets in this sub-theme, and we're talking about the Microfighter sub-theme. So these are the little small Lego Star Wars sets, and these sets are typically around $10, but after a couple of years of retirement, after these sets are not available anymore in retail stores, the values can tend to skyrocket, and we can see some of these sets going for $40, $50, $60 even though you bought it for $10. And this is a sub-theme that a lot of Lego investors are snoozing on. A lot of people are actually ignoring this theme, and a lot of people don't even realize that these sets are out there. So there can be a lot of opportunity here. And in this video, I'm going to walk through some of these return on investments. I'm going to show you some of the selling prices and what you could have bought them for and what you would have made in profit and return on investment if you had have done that. And then we're going to rank them from worst to best based on average annual return on investment. That is, if you held it for a couple of years, how much are you getting annually in return on investment just because you bought that set and you sold it after a couple of years. So with that, let's just jump straight in here. And the first one we're going to look at on this list is the X-Wing fighter. So this is the Microfighter X-Wing, and it is 75032 with 97 pieces and one minifigure. This is a 10 cents price per piece because it had a $10 purchase price with those 97 pieces. Now it was released in January 2014, retired in July of 2015, so it was on the shelves for about a year and a half before this one disappeared. But right now on Amazon it's selling for $51. So again, you could have bought it for $10 while it was on store shelves. And that is if you bought it for full MSRP. A lot of people actually would have got a better price on this. You could have maybe got it for $7 or $8. And if you are selling it at $51 today, even after buying it at the full $10 purchase price, it's a 280% return on investment. Incredible return on investment, and this is number 15 on the list here. We're going to get better and better. However, it has been a couple of years since it retired. This retired again in 2015. And if you held it up until now, that's 8.5 years of hold time. So over the course of that time, we need to average out the return on investment and account for the fact that you're holding it for that long. So over the course of time, it would have been a 34% annual return on investment every year. So we're just going to average that out. And we're using a simple average here. We're not going to account for compounding, because in Lego investing, compounding only happens when you turn over, when you sell and reinvest, which we're not doing here. We're holding it for 8.5 years. And we're not talking about inflation either. We just don't want to overcomplicate this. So just taking a simple average here, it's 34% average return on investment over the course of those 8.5 years if you held this set. Now that is 15, and let's just jump into the next one here. So we have in 14th place, we had the Millennium Falcon. Now there has been a couple of iterations of the Millennium Falcon, and this one here is the one that was released back in January 2014. It retired in July of 2015. It is 75030 with 94 pieces and one minifigure in the box, which is of course Han Solo. This is a $10 purchase price, and it's currently selling on Amazon in the US for $55. And yes folks, I verified these sets are selling for the price. We're not showing you any prices on these slides that the set is actually not selling for. We have tools that we can verify. This is selling for $55, up from $10. That is a 310% return on investment, but if you average it out over that whole time since July 2015, it would be a 37% average annual return on investment. So 37% a year if you just put these in your closet and wait for 8 years to sell them. And remember, the stock market on average goes up around 7 to 8% a year. So compare your 7 to 8% in the stock market with 37% by sitting on these Microfighters. And again, this is number 14. What you're going to see in the top 5 here is just absolutely insane. So into the next one, we have the Wookiee Gunship Microfighter. This is 75129. Of course, we get Chewbacca here. That's the one minifigure in the box. This one had 84 pieces and a price per piece of 12 cents. Even though it had the same MSRP of $10, it had a lower piece count. So it had a slightly higher price per piece. In other words, the value in the box here was a little lower than some of the others. This was released in January 2016, retired in December of 2017. So this one was actually on the shelves for 2 years almost. Current price on Amazon, $47. So that's a 240% return if you had bought it at full MSRP of $10. And once again, you should be getting them at better prices than that. But if you did pay full price, 240% return, annual average return of 40%. Now the reason that the average annual return is better on this one than the previous set is because it retired more recently. So So even though the current selling price is lower, you're getting a better average annual return because you don't have to hold it for as long. So the return on investment is diluted over less years. And that is why this is number 13. So moving into 12 now, we have the Escape Pod versus the Dewback Microfighter. And this is 75228 with 177 pieces. Now, sometimes the Microfighter sets, they can be kind of a little larger because they can have multiple different characters, much like the Brickhead sets where you can get one character for $10, but you can also get a double pack or even bigger. And this is an example of that one. This was a $20 set, up from the $10 of the other sets that we just looked at, with more pieces and 3 minifigures in the box. 11 cents price per piece, so it's pretty close in terms of the value in when you're looking at the piece count. But this is actually a more recent set as well. This was released in January of 2019, retired in December of 2019. So it was on the shelves for just under 1 year. Now, the current price on Amazon for this one is $70. That's 165% return on investment. Once again, it's a lower total return than some of the previous ones that we looked at, but it's only been a couple of years retired. So you would have gotten this 165% in just a couple of years of hold time. So on average, if you held it from December 2019 until now and then sold it, you would have made 42% every year in terms of the growth of your investment here. So 42% on the Escape Pod versus Dewback. Next up, we have the Naboo Starfighter, of course, iconic from episode 1, 75223 with 62 pieces. Now, this was a little bit low on the piece count here with 62 parts in the box. One minifigure, but that low piece count led to a price per piece of 16 cents. It was still a $10 set, and this was released in January 2019, retired in December of 2019, so that once again, this is a little bit more recent, but current price on Amazon, $38. So it's still not bad, right? You're paying $10 or less when it's available on the shelves, and now it's selling for $38. You can sell it for 170% return on your money here. Averaging that out over the course of a couple of years of hold time, that's 43% per year in growth. So that is the Naboo Starfighter. And now into the top 10. First up, we have the Vulture Droid Microfighter. Set number 75073 with 77 pieces and 1 minifig or mini droid here. We get a 13 cents price per piece with the same purchase price of $10. It's nice to see that purchase price hasn't really changed over time, because this is a 2015 set and it was still selling for $10. And today we still have Microfighters out there for $10. So that is good that they haven't tried to double the price of Microfighters on the shelves. January 2015, retired in December of 2015. So this was available for 1 year, and right now it's selling on Amazon for $60. So again, from $10 purchase price up to $60. 360% return on investment, or averaging that out over the whole time here will be 45% if you had bought it before it retired and sold it today. 45% every year average annual return on investment. Next up, we have the ARC 170 Starfighter Microfighter. This is 75072 with 95 pieces. It's getting closer to the 100 piece count, which I like to see here because some of these are skimping a little bit. One minifigure and 11 cents price per piece. $10 purchase price once again, and released the same year as the previous one, January 2015, retired in December of 2015. Right now on Amazon, this one's selling for $60. That is a 360% return if you had bought it at the full MSRP. That would be a 45% every year annual average return on investment. In number 8, we have the Homing Spider Droid. This is 75077 with 102 pieces. One minifig in this one. Once again, it's a droid. 10 cents price per piece, $10 purchase price. Now, this was also the same year of January 2015, retired in December of 2015. Current selling price on Amazon of $56. That will be a return on investment of 370%, or an average annual return of 47%. Now, this one had some more pieces in the box, and it's very likely that the box is just slightly heavier than the previous one. So even though it was the same purchase price and close to the same selling price, this had a better average annual return on investment, likely because the fees on the other one were just slightly higher, and that brought down the ROI just a little bit. We actually ran these through an Amazon fee calculator. So all of the return on investments that you're seeing here are after all of the fees are paid on Amazon in the US. And if you sell on a different platform, then the numbers might look a little bit different for you. And next up, we have the Millennium Falcon Microfighter. This is in 7th place here with 75193, 92 pieces and 1 minifigure. 11 cents price per piece and a $10 purchase price. This is a little more recent, released in January 2018, retired in July of 2019. So it also had a longer shelf life with a year and a half on the shelves. Current selling price on this one is $43. Again, selling for lower than some of the previous sets, but it's more recent, so you didn't have to hold it for as long. But a 210% return on investment. Still not a bad investment, but your average annual return here is super strong of 48% because you've only had to hold it for a couple of years. Next up, we have the Sith Infiltrator Microfighter. This is 75224 with 92 pieces and one minifigure. This had an 11 cents price per piece and once again that $10 purchase price, and it was the same year, January 2019 to December of 2019. Great year for Microfighters. 2019 was just like 2015. This was a current price of $40 on Amazon right now. This had a return on investment of 190% with a 48% average annual return on investment. Now we're in the top 5 here, and the first one here is First Order TIE Fighter in 5th place, 75194 with 91 pieces and one minifigure. This had an 11 cents price per piece and a $10 purchase price. Released in January 2018, retired in July of 2019. Now again, this is kind of the height of the popularity of the sequel trilogy, so of course the First Order sets were selling quite well, and right now on Amazon it's still selling for a high price. It is $50 on Amazon today, and again, if you bought it at that $10 purchase price and sold it today at $50, that's a return on investment of 270%. Averaging that out over the whole time is 62% per year in average annual return on investment. In 4th place here we have the Republic Gunship, 75076, 105 pieces with one minifigure. A pretty good price per piece of 10 cents on this one because again it was a $10 set. Released in January 2015, retired in December of 2015. Current price on Amazon $80. Right, so now we're starting to see some really high prices on these sets. These are $10 MSRPs and now they're selling for $80 on Amazon. Once again, yes, they are selling at those prices. 531% return on investment on this one. That would be average annual return of 67%. Now just remember, Warren Buffett, the most famous stock market investor in the world, averages somewhere between 20 to 25% over the course of his career in stocks. You're talking about a 67% average annual return on investment here on the Republic Gunship. Moving into 3rd place, the Ghost Microfighter. This is 75127, 104 pieces and one minifigure. 10 cents price per piece and a $10 purchase price. This was a 2016 set, so January 2016, retired in December 2016. 1 year on the shelves. As you can see, that's a trend here with Microfighters. Usually a year to a year and a half. We have seen a few outliers, but a lot of them are a year to a year and a half. This current price on Amazon, $95, from a $10 MSRP to $95. 651% return on investment. Average annual return on investment of 94%. At that point, you're almost doubling your money every year. Just every year, just sitting on the stuff, leaving it in your closet and just sitting on it and letting it double every year. Not quite, but we're almost there with 94% average annual return on investment on the Ghost Microfighter. In 2nd place, you are more than doubling with this Kylo Ren's Shuttle Microfighter, 75264, 72 pieces and one minifigure. Kylo Ren, of course, 10 cents price per piece and a $10 purchase price. This is much more recent. This was released in January 2020 and retired in December of 2020. This is one that I personally invested in. It was available for 1 year on the shelves, and right now on Amazon selling for $59. That is a 350% return on investment. Once again, a lower selling price than the one we just looked at, which was selling for $95, which gives it a better overall return on investment. But since the Kylo Ren's Microfighter has only been retired for 3 years, this has a much higher average annual return on investment of 119% because you only have to hold it for 3 years to get that 350% return. Absolutely phenomenal price growth from Kylo Ren's Shuttle Microfighter. And this is only in 2nd place. We do have one Microfighter set that beats this and beats all of the rest of them. In 1st place on this list, we have the Clone Turbo Tank Microfighter, 75028 with 96 pieces and one minifigure. This had a 10 cents price per piece. It was a $10 set, and it's one of the older ones. January 2014 was the release date, and July 2015 was the retirement date, so a year and a half on the shelves. But right now on Amazon, this set is selling for $140. $140, and again, this is a $10 MSRP. $140 right now on Amazon. So we're not talking about a set tripling in MSRP anymore. We're talking about a set selling for 14 times its original MSRP here. It's just incredible what is possible with these Microfighters because they start from such a low price point, but the demand continues even after the prices start to go up. There's a ton of collectability. Star Wars fans want to collect them all, and even at 14x the MSRP, there is still an appetite for people to buy these sets. So this is a 1,031 23% return on investment. Averaged out over the course of your hold time here, even though it was a long hold time from July 2015 until the end of 2023, it would be 123% return on investment. 123% return on investment over the course of such a long time period. It's just incredible what these microfighters can do. And the community has been snoozing on them. So what do you think about the microfighter sets? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you invest in them? Do you collect them? What are your thoughts? While you're down there, make sure you get the link to our free Facebook group. We have a Lego investing Facebook group, completely free. I will drop the link in the description down below, and you don't want to miss out on the discussion in there. So once again, I'm Shane from BrickBucks.net. Thank you so much for being here, and remember to lift off and be free.